final thing I want to touch on is what it is, or the instances in which it has made a difference, or it has come up that I'm a member of the LGBT community. And it really has been through my own, well, one instance aside, but other instances it's really been through me. I'm going out of my way to do things that other people might not do because they are not who I am. For example, the Texas Supreme Court has instructions that we give the jury panel members who come in for their jury service. And one of the things we have to instruct them, and if you served on a jury, you've heard this before, is do not discuss the case with your husband or your wife. That's in the Texas Supreme Court instructions. Well, I might have modified it a little bit. And I said, do not discuss the case with your husband, your wife, or your partner. And I have to tell you, when people having filled out the juror information card, where you have that moment where you feel like, this is a government form, I don't want to lie. It asks for my spouse's information. Legally, I don't have a spouse in this state. I feel like I'm denying the person that I'm in a relationship with when I fill this out this way. There's something here that feels duplicitous, and I don't like it. And so what I want to do is I want to help those folks to have dignity in that moment that they are with me, to know that I see you. I see you. And in that, I hope that I'm reflecting to them that I have respect for them, and that our court is showing them dignity and respecting them. But that's just a small thing. Other things are, I have the power, of course, to perform marriage ceremonies. I don't. And when people come to the court, usually about 19 years old, with one person very pregnant, when they come to the court to ask for the court to perform the ceremony, I use it as my opportunity to give them a lesson about marriage inequality in the state. Because I feel like I have to tell them why I'm turning them away, because they are clearly, by virtue of what I'm seeing in front of me, in a desperate situation where they'd like to get married quickly. So I usually will offer them something along the lines of, I'm sorry I don't perform marriage ceremonies because we are in a state that does not have marriage equality. And until it does, I'm not going to partially apply the law to one group of people that doesn't apply to another group of people. And it's kind of oxymoronic for me to perform ceremonies that can't be performed for me. So I'm not doing it. There was a young man in my court, God bless him. He was making a very passionate argument. It was a very serious case involving child molestation and a nonprofit entity that was being sued. A very high-profile case. The courtroom was filled with people, and they were having, it was a very good hearing, and he wanted to use the term homosexual and child molester interchangeably. And so I said to him, and the first time he said it, I thought, oh, it's a slip-up, Tanya, don't be so sensitive, it's all right. The second time, I popped up and I said, sir, the court cannot abide your use of those terms interchangeably. And he then said, and he really felt so good about this argument, he looked at me and he said, but Judge, the guy who molested the kids were boys, and it was a guy that molested them. I said, sir, when a man molests a little girl, people don't call him heterosexual. So when this man molests this little boy, assuming your allegations to be true, you are not going to stand in my courtroom and call him a homosexual. And the funny thing now these are the people who were opposing this guy's argument. They were looking at him with everything in them as though they wanted to save him. Clearly they had researched their judge. This guy had not. And they were looking at him like, oh no, please don't, stop. But they couldn't save him. But those are just some of the ways in which I think it has made a difference to have a representative on the bench that's a member of the community and that is willing to make sure that the laws are applied equally to everyone who comes before the court, and that we take opportunities to put issues on people's radar that might not otherwise be there.